Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? It's KMB the Sexy Ninja in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe, and this is the New World Podcast, brother. Oh, I'm exhausted. It's been a long week. But what happens on Wednesday nights? That's Dynamite. November 15th, 2023. Excalibur, Tony, Taz on commentary. We're in Ontario, California. The Full Gear Go Home show of 3 Go Home shows. We got Moxley and Yuta versus Orange and Hook. To start the show, this match was okay for what it was. I like the fact that Orange and Hook went and attacked John Moxley and Wheeler Yuta before the match started, and there was some really foreshadowing of what's going to happen between Orange Cassidy and John Moxley this Saturday at Full Gear. Orange Punch, no effect on John whatsoever. That was insane. I was like, oh shit, I was like, oh my, because Orange went, and then what I liked is after Moxley and Yuta gets the win, after Hook got pinned by Yuta, and their rivalry's building as well, is the fact that Orange looked defeated. He's looking at his fist, after hitting John, because John just anything and everything that Orange was trying to do to Moxley, like, John was not selling it. And he cuts a promo right after, and he tells him, like, I'm gonna burn this bitch down. I'm coming for that championship, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I was like, I think Orange is gonna lose that championship at Full Gear. I just got that feeling. Then we have Tony Schiavone in the ring next, with Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland. They come down face to face, not allowed to touch each other, not allowed to fight or anything, or they will be suspended for the rest of the year. And the match at Full Gear, the Texas Death Match, will not happen. So Hangman had some shit to say. He got some cowboy shit to say to Mr. Swerve, saying Nana's using him and this and that, and just coming after him saying, like, this is why, your kids are not talking to you. I think he said your ex-fiance and everything like that. I was just like, damn. And Swerve just wants to beat his ass, but Hangman does something very, very clever. He's like, yeah, I'm not allowed to fight you. But they didn't say anything about Prince Nana, and he beats down Prince Nana, and Swerve is like, what do I do? What do I cause this? But it's going to be a war with these two. It's going to be war. That's what we're going to see. If you haven't seen their first match, you should go check it out. It's so fucking good. Lexi is backstage with the Kingdom and Roderick. They call Adam, and Roderick's and Adam. They tell Adam, like, we know Max is the devil, and then Adam's like, no, he's not the devil. Who's the devil? The devil. Roderick's like, God. And he's like, maybe you're the devil for all these accusations. And Roderick gets pissed, and Adam hangs up. And next up, we have Red Velvet versus Blue Sky. And whoever wins this match will join the TBS Championship in the triple threat match for the TBS Championship. And Sky Blue got the win. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. So she's going to be facing Chris watches, Julia Hart's watching, so mirror promo package, who cares? RJ's backstage, with Maria May to meet Tony, and they go backstage. She's like, I'm just such a fan, and Tony's just like, get off, I have cucumbers on my eyes, leave me alone, I'm Tony Storm. But Maria's like, I'm a big fan, this and that. Samoa Joe comes out, goes against Squash Gang, bam, wins the match, cuts a promo. He's like, yo, Max, my offer still stands, but there's only a limited window still, and after he dropped the Ring of Honor Television Championship, because all he wants now is the World Heavyweight Championship. So Samoa Joe tells him, like, hey, my offer still stands, but you only have so long until that window is closed. Then we have the Continental Classic Tournament package between Brian and Tony. They go on and say, hey, Brian, Brian's going to be the first one in with his eye patch and everything like that. So then we have Penta Commander versus the Young Bucks, fun match. Young Bucks for the win, gains their advantage they're going against the Golden Jets. They're backstage with Lexi after this match with the Young Bucks, and they get interrupted by Kenny. Jericho's like, and Kenny's like, hey, you're kicking people in the balls now, this and that, what's going on? This is really good, but going into our match, and They're like, hey, our beef's not with you, Kenny. Our beef's with Jericho, and here comes Jericho in a suit and everything like that because they got their big street fight. And yeah, they attack Jericho, and that's definitely some mind games they're playing. And if you don't know the stipulation of the match, we'll talk about that in our picks and predictions up here next. The Guns versus Squash Gang. The Guns for the win. They cut a promo after. They're coming after those Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships from Max. Wardlow promo package, and he's like, I will make the devil my bitch. Ooh, baby. So next up, Like a Dragon street fight. Oh my God. I don't know what to say about this match. We have Kenny Omega, Paul White, Jericho, Kota Ibushi versus Brian Cage, Kyle Fletcher, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Takeshita, and Don Callis is on commentary, and this was just a clusterfuck of a mess of a match. Like, fucking poor Kyle got chokeslammed by Paul White. It's supposed to be 2 tables, but man, Kyle hit. There's a bunch of crazy great spots. But this match was sloppy as fuck. Like, I was trying to get into it. There was moments where I was like, okay. And then Jericho comes out in his suit. And it's Jericho being Jericho. And he's letting the crowd sing. I'm like, dude, this is supposed to be a war. This is not sing-along. You guys are supposed to go to war. And he comes out first and he lets the crowd sing a song. And I'm like, that's cool, man. That's cool, sure. But this is a fucking street fight. Like, come on. And then moments in this match, Jericho's just making mad. He's still, like, playing to the crowd and whatnot. I'm like, dude, this is a street fight. This is supposed to be personal between everyone. And the camera, you got Takeshita and Jericho out. They go in this, and then Paul White has one big spot. Fucking Hobbs try to pick up Paul White outside and throw him on a car. Very sloppy, too. I don't know, man. And then there's a few moments where I thought there's a spot where Kyle Fletcher gets Ibushi, who is all elite now, just to let you know, and does this really crazy spot outside the ring into some chairs and everything like that. I'm like, holy shit, Ibushi is dead. No, Ibushi gets up afterwards. And I don't know. I did not know what to expect. They're dressed up as characters of this video game and stuff like that. This was just, there was great moments and great spots in this match, but overall, it was a shitty match. And Kenny, Paul, Jericho, Ibushi got the win. It just, I don't know. It's not what I expected. I expected something more out of, especially all this talent. And Paul White, I was wondering what I was going to get from Paul White. Like, I was like, is he really going to wrestle? Because when they start running, Paul doesn't run. Paul's stiff. Paul's very stiff. And he gets body slammed by Powerhouse Hobbs on a car, and he's out. He got 2 spots. Got Kyle, boom. I just the snap of Kyle's head. Oh, then he gets on the car, and I'm just like, okay, well, all right, well, that was something. We had a bike. We had a bicycle. Like this spot looked cool when I was on X. And I was like, oh, he got a bike. He's riding with the bike. No, he has a pipe and the bike, and he barely bops Kyle. Kyle sells the shit out of it. And he goes down and he hits, I think he hits Brian Cage. Brian Cage, he hits Takeshita or Hobbs. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But he's coming down on his bike. He's like, boop, sell. Boop, sell. Then fucking here goes Powerhouse Hobbs. Takeshita took the bike and started beating everybody on it. Fucking slammed Ibushi on it. I'm just like, oh my God. And yeah, Kenny got the pin. Kenny got the win. MJF promo next. I don't know, man. I'm still like trying to wrap my head around it. I'm trying to wrap my head around this too. Collision and Rampage are on the same night. So does that mean like an hour of each? Why couldn't we just do Rampage and then just say no Collision this week? Why do we have to do Collision and Rampage? Like that, I don't know. That was like some frustrating. Like I was wondering too. I was like, okay, I know he ain't gonna have Full Gear go against his own show like Collision. So how are we gonna do this? Well, how about cut Collision out or cut Rampage and then you do both? And then the graphics came up. I was like, oh, Rampage and Collision this Friday. I'm like, that seems so clustery, doesn't it? You could have just picked one of the shows. Okay. Full Gear's coming up. We just need good times. MJF promo. This was okay. Does the same shtick. Says I'm sorry to Acclaim for the attack. Blah 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 blah. Here comes Jay White. Jay White does this thing. Bullet Club Gold attacks, and that's how we leave off air. Joe's watching though. Joe's watching, so the offer still stands. And I gotta say, for overall for this week, solid 2.5 out of 5. Especially for a go-home show, like it definitely, like, a lot of things were just not clicking with me tonight, and and that Like a Dragon Street Fight. Oh shit! I think that was those, like I said, crazy spots. Watch it for yourself. Crazy spots, but just a mess of a fucking match. So 2.5 out of 5 for Dynamite, especially a Full Gear go-home show of 3 now. So all right. Now, let's get into some picks and predictions. All right, Full Gear 2023 is here. We start off with a 0 hour and picks and predictions. I do my picks and see how right I am or how wrong I am. And I usually get a good track record. There's been I remember like WrestleMania last year. I remember like night 1, pretty spot on. Night 2, fucking garbage picks. So we started off with the 0 hour Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships, MJF and Samoa Joe. I think Samoa's going to be part of this match, and they're going to take on the Guns. And I think with Juice Robinson and all this shenanigans, and probably Samoa Joe betraying MJF, or some, MJF doing something, or the Devil shows up, the Guns, I feel, are going to walk out with those Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. And sadly, for me, I'm like, does the Ring of Honor Championships even matter? Like, if you had Samoa Joe drop the fucking TV title, like, yeah, I'm done with this. It's like, where's our world heavyweight Ring of Honor champion, Eddie? It's Ring of Honor is one of those things where I'm just very sad that it's there. They're placeholders, but I think the Guns are going to take it, win the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships, and as we go into the pay-per-view. The AEW Tag Team Championships are on the line. Big Bill, Ricky Starks put those titles up against FTR, LFI, and House of Black. I'm saying House of Black's gonna win. I just got this feeling House of Black's gonna get some gold tonight, along with the next match too, with the TBS Championship. Chris Statlander putting up her TBS Championship against Sky Blue and Julia Hart. I'm picking Julia Hart. I'm picking House of Black. Always bet on the House of Black, and they're all walking out with gold at Full Gear this Saturday. Next up is a Texas Death Match: Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland. This is part 2 of their feud. I'm picking Hangman Adam Page, and then we have the big rubber match. I know this is a Texas Death Match. It's going to be crazy. They're going to beat the shit out of each other, but this ain't over. We're going to have one more match after this, the trilogy for these two, and it's going to be brutal. I don't know how you get more brutal than a Texas Death Match in California, but, we'll do the damn thing. Golden Jets, Kenny Omega and Jericho versus the Young Bucks. It's if Golden Jets win, they take the number 1 contenderships that Young Bucks got, for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Or if the Young Bucks win, the Golden Jets need to disband. So I'm picking the Young Bucks for the win. I really don't want to see Kenny Omega and Jericho, this Golden Jets thing. I don't care for it. Like, it's just let's get back to the Elite. That's just my opinion. But Young Bucks for the win. Could be totally wrong. It is Jericho, and he does get his way. So next up we have Sting, Darby Allin, Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, Nick Wayne. I don't think you're gonna have Adam Copeland lose his first fucking pay-per-view. That's where I come to terms with this match. Is Sting, Darby, Adam are gonna get the win over Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, Nick Wayne. I don't think Tony's gonna be like, yeah, your first pay-per-view here, you're gonna lose. And Adam's all about storytelling, and I could be wrong. Christian, Luchasaurus, Nick Wayne get the win. But I don't think so. I just don't. International Championship. Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley. I'm picking Jon all the way. After what happened in the Dynamite, I have to go with Jon. Jon taking an orange punch and just shrugging it off like it was nothing, and how Orange looked defeated. I think this is going to be a quick, brutal match. I think we're going to get it's going to be fun, but it's going to be brutal, and it's going to be all Moxley. That's what I'm calling here. and he's going to put Orange Cassidy on the shelf and take his championship. AEW Women's Championship, Hikaru Shida is going to face Toni Storm. I'm picking Toni Storm for the win. She's going to have some shenanigans. Timeless Toni Storm is going to get that championship at Full Gear, and we're going to get a big reveal of somebody, maybe Mercedes Moné. Finally, we've been waiting. Something, and I'm trying to think of like what could be the big they make the wrestling world talk. Who's going to come over to AEW? And is Full Gear sold out? I don't know. So maybe, could be. AEW World Championship, MJF is going to retain. Because he has a full plate of people that he's facing, but it's going to be, this match is going to be a banger. I love Jay White, love Bullet Club Gold. I think MJF is going to retain the championship. And then at some point we're going to get Joe and MJF 2. Then at some point Wardlow, because Wardlow's coming after him as well. And, it potentially, the 2024 bid is still on the way. Man, that's so crazy that's coming up. His contract, is he going to go to WWE? Is he not? I don't think so. I think he's an AEW guy. Just because he streams AEW. And I think him and WWE is not a fit at the moment because he is sort of like, he cusses, he does this, he says what he wants, and he could shift gears, he could go to WWE way, but, we shall see. But I know this is going to be a banger. Then we got World's End, and I think we're going to get Samoa Joe versus MJF at World's End. So, there we go. Picks and predictions for Full Gear Dynamite review, 2.5 out of 5. So let's see what happens on Collision and Rampage on Friday night. So, all right, y'all. Tell me what you thought of Dynamite. What did you like? What you dislike? Were you as disappointed in that street fight as I am? Let me know in the comments below. Tell me what you think of my picks and predictions. And remember, like and subscribe. Share with your grandma. Share with your grandpa. Share with the bum down at Walmart. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/New World Podcast. Get yourself that sweet nWp logo created by Penta X. And put the Too Sweet sign up right now and say it with me. The New World Podcast is for life, brother.
Oh, wait a minute. Hot fellas, exclusion. I think it's a 10-speed, damn it. Hold on. Don't give him the Bushi. I mean, don't go off the ramp.